This was a disaster for Bloomberg. Bloomberg went in as the Titanic, billion-dollar machine Titanic. Titanic, meet iceberg Elizabeth Warren.
The former mayor was completely out of his realm.
I wouldn't want to go in there and defend him after the night that he had.
It was boxing in the 1950s. You keep punching the cut over their eye over and over and over again. That's what they did to Bloomberg.
Many in the media deeming Michael Bloomberg the loser of the latest Democratic debate. Are they right?
All right, here now to weigh in, media reporter for The Hill, Joe Concha. Joe, do you go with the main theme that Bloomberg was the target and he wasn't ready to be hit?
He was not ready. There was rust. I had notes from last night that I was taking as I was tweeting throughout this. Here are words I used. Unsteady, unnerved, deer in the headlights, unrelatable, rusty, rehearsed, inauthentic, out of place. So not very good reviews if you remember Rocky IV. It was like Apollo Creed versus 5, right. Ivan Drago's, and we all know how that fight ended. But overall, guys, the optics here for all Democrats, I think, were poor. And here's why. It was entertaining for us, right? Mm-hmm. Political junkies, we loved it. It was like the Red Wedding.
It's the first real one. It was the first real debate.
Where they took off the gloves, right, and actually went after each other. But they were lacking gravitas. And what drove me crazy is 3 seconds in everybody's answer, I see everybody's hands up. Right. And they're waving. You know what? Give them a buzzer, lights up their podium, because then it looks like a sophomore year debate.
Right. Did you feel that the moderators actually had control of the debate? Because it seemed like they said hello in the beginning and then they were off to the races and you didn't hear many questions.
You know what I don't mind, Steve? I don't mind when actually moderators kind of back off and let them go at it. I think at one point they allowed Elizabeth Warren way too much to interrogate Michael Bloomberg, because if it was the other way around.
She was the number one soundbiter, and I believe Michael Bloomberg was the least.
Warren and Klobuchar got the most speaking time, and Bloomberg did get the least. That's correct. But overall, the tone in general, I still don't know what the message of the Democrats is from an optimism perspective, because you always went on optimism. Ronald Reagan, shining city on the hill. George H.W. Bush, 1,000 points of light. Bill Clinton, man from hope. President Obama, hope and change. President Trump, make America great again. What is the Democrats' bumper sticker at this point?
I can beat Trump.
What could Bloomberg have said that would have made you think differently? If he had just defended himself, what should he have said?
I think, Ainsley, he was in an indefensible position. Because think of all the people that he's insulted over the last week in terms of the comments that have been unearthed. You got farmers, you got seniors, you got women, you got Latinos, you got blacks.
Seniors should die?
Right? Yeah, they're horrible. You can't defend some of the things that he said. The only two groups that weren't attacked were...
Why is he doing so well in the polls? Maybe not after last night.
Everything changes now, because the homogenized Bloomberg in those ads, where you don't have to take questions in ads. Because remember, not only did he never not do a debate to this point, he hasn't done one major interview to this point.
Joe, the other thing is, what he wants to run on his 12 years as mayor, he has to apologize for, because he's in the Democratic debate. Yeah. I agree with Mayor Pete on this. The two front runners, one is not a Democrat. Mike Bloomberg's really not a Democrat. And either is Bernie Sanders not a Democrat. The others are dramatically different. Elizabeth Warren has to went after everyone except two. Bernie.
That's exactly
because somehow, when she goes, or eventually goes, Bernie's going to get her windfall. But until then, she's going to damage everybody else.
You're a former sports guy, right? In terms of Bloomberg and who he is, remember, he was first a Democrat, then he ran as a Republican to win in New York, then he became an independent. All he has to do is become a libertarian, then he hits for the cycle, right? So we don't know who exactly Mike Bloomberg is, and for him to apologize for stop and frisk the day before he runs for president, he felt so bad about it. You could have done that when you left office, not after the fact. So he was better off, Ainsley, running as an independent and staying out of this muck.
He can't win as an independent, though. We already tested.
And Joe,
well, his money, though, may change things, though, Brian.
Volume-wise, though, when you imagine which of those candidates from last night would be well paired with Donald Trump, I think the only two who come to the same intensity level from last night would be Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders.
You may be right about that. But then what are the choices, really? If it's Bernie Sanders, then we'll go back to bumper stickers. Capitalism versus socialism. And the party does not want him to be the nominee. If Bloomberg wins, then that's horrible, too, because in his case, the grassroots aren't with him. The establishment is, but the people aren't, and then people stay home. If Bernie's the nominee, then it turns out that, oh, boy, we can't elect a socialist as our nominee. There are no good options for Democrats right now, and
Brian,
that's a big problem. The party knows it.
Because she didn't attack Bernie. I didn't think about that last night. Maybe she wants to be the vice president.
They're in the same lane.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Amy Klobuchar could be a vice presidential candidate as well, but I think Stacey Abrams is the front runner in that.
She made that clear yesterday. All right. Joe, thank you very much.
Thank you.